Right, guys, I'm gonna start. Um, let's start off on Nasdaq. Haven't traded Nasdaq in a while, but I know some of you guys like to trade it. All right. So as always, we start on the weekly and daily time frames, right? So looking at our weekly time frame, we can pull a trend line across here. So we've got our first touch, second touch, anticipated the third touch didn't happen as yet. There's no telling when we can expect that. Maybe when they announce a recession, we don't know. But going forward, we obviously trade the data in front of us. So on the weekly time frame, you can see that we've had a bounce here and somewhat of a retail pattern. What's this pattern called, guys?
Inverse head and shoulders.
Well, there's one. No, color.
Isn't it A, B, C, D or W?
Double bottom, correct. So there you are. You see it? All right. So yeah, we've had a double bottom bounce and somewhat of a morning star formation down here. So you had your red candle here, your doji, followed by the bullish engulfing candle. So the market has been trying to reverse. So you can assume a bullish bias on the weekly time frame. Now when we drop down to I'm going to drop down to the daily time frame. This is where we will dive a little bit deeper into the current structure. So looking at it, okay, so first touch was up here, right? Last year sometime. Got our first touch there. Second touch. Second touch there. Someone's mic. It's not muted. Okay, so second touch there. Third touch. We came back for a third touch here. And then another touch down here, which was our fourth touch. So we respected 4 times in a row already. And you can see currently prices looking to or has broken out. So we need to see how this daily candle closes. If we can manage to close above this trend line, then we've got a successful breakout. Let's just pull this across. So I'm going to clone this line because you can all see this descending channel there, right? So that's the descending channel. Oh, it's actually right there. Yeah. Just neaten this up a bit. Let's put our line chart. There we are. So that's our descending channel on NASDAQ. You all should have this on your chart. Okay. And we can see a clear breakout. What else can we see on the daily time frame? You can see that we've also formed a level of support in that area, correct? Where you've got the double bottom on the weekly. So remember the weekly had a double bottom coming down there like this. And by doing so, we've actually got 3 touches on this support level down here. So we're going to now drop down to our 4-hour and analyze it a little bit closer. Okay. So looking on the 4-hour, there's your first touch of the support. Second touch of the support there. Third touch. And then our fourth touch was here where we've bounced off. Okay, now according to 4-hour structure, where's our last major high, guys? So would it be here, here, or here?
There where your mouse is, where
Yeah.
your finger is.
Correct. So that is the last major high, right? So we still need to see price take out this level here, which is 12,100. However, we do have minor change of character, which has occurred at these lower levels there. So there was also, so you can say, so was the change of character here. What else do you notice in this region here? You see these two equal highs? So that means we had liquidity that also rested there, right? Which was taken with that drive to the upside. So we had a major minor change of character in that area, and we're still awaiting the major change of character. But if I go back to the daily time frame, there's an area that I want to bring to your attention, which is up here. So we've got a supply zone sitting at 12,600, which is about 6,000 pips away. So if this daily candle can close above, firstly, this high, and secondly, above this trend line, then we've got targets. So when we see a pullback, we're targeting 12,600 to the supply level up here. So there's one of two areas that could hold. It's either the first level here or the second one that sits there, just above it. Because you've got a high just below the supply zone. All right. And if you pull your fib on your major structure, there's your high, swing high to the swing low. Notice how both these supply zones are within our sell discount. So we're looking at between the 61.8 level, which is here. There's your 61.8 level, and the 78.6 level, which is up here. So that's a good sell area. But for now, we are looking at longs all the way up to 12,600. We go down to the day, with the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so on the 1 hour, like I said, we want to see a pullback, preferably into any of these imbalanced areas here. Right? And currently you would more than likely price would more than likely be drawn into the bigger one, which is, so if I take a box and I do this here, that lines up, that imbalance lines up with my trend line. Right, so I'll be looking at a pullback to somewhere around that level. You can also pull your resistance level there.
Shakir, just check when is gonna come on now.
Right.
Yeah. Right, so as you can see, the 1 hour candle is closing in 10 minutes, should close above this resistance turn support level. So we might only get a pullback from Wednesday onwards. Okay, but for now, this is the zone of interest to us currently right now, before we jump into, or before price draws into this imbalanced region here. Okay. Right, so I think I sent this one out last night. Yeah, it was last night that I sent this out. I'm just gonna break it down for you guys and show you guys what I'm looking at. Okay. So how do we know we are bullish on the major structure on US30? It's because we took out the last previous high, which was up here, right? So we took out the last major high, the lower high. So if you mark out your structure, that was our last lower high. This is the lower low. That was the lower high. And this was the lower low. All right, so we flipped the supply up here, and we took out major structure here. So we assume a bullish bias. Right, and then you can see that once we flipped the supply, we formed a correction that occurred up here. So you guys can see this correction. Some of you call it a flag or whatnot. So you have this impulse from the bottom here, like this. That was your impulse. And then you saw price correct in this manner here. Okay, so you were looking at a impulse correction and then a next impulse to the upside. So last night when I sent you guys the analysis, price was somewhere here when we mitigated this demand area. So this was our daily IFC or institutional funded candle, which formed the demand. We broke out of the consolidation box here. So this was our consolidation box. We broke out of it and then we drew back into that demand area. So we were anticipating longs all the way until our H4 supply. We can also see that price did come back for that retest on the trend line breakout. And I'm talking about this major trend line here, where you've got the first touch there. Remember, you must have 2 or more touches. So your minimum is 2 touches to identify a proper trend line. So there's your 1, 2, and then your third one confirms it. Then we break out on the 4th attempt here. And then we come back for a retest down here on the backside of that trend line. So that was the background into the bullish bias. I'm going to drop down to the 4-hour so you guys can see clearly. Okay, so there's your 4-hour supply. We're about to tap into it and close out all this imbalanced area here. So we've had all this imbalance which needed to be filled out. Okay, did anybody catch any long here?
Me.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah. You said buy US30.
Yeah. Just checking because I didn't see any of the guys post any screenshots today. But that's cool. All right. So let's analyze now here. Looking at it, what do you see here? You can see a trend line that had formed. So more than likely, I believe we're going to break out of this trend line to the upside with further targets of at least 35,000. If you look back, there's an area here which you guys can look at. You see there's a supply zone on our 4-hour with imbalance all along this drop, as well as, okay, so these highs were taken though, so that's fine. So that's our supply zone. Oh yeah. Yeah, so you can expect 35,300 at least to be it. We should get a bounce off the H4 supply at 33,875, but like I said, it will more than likely come to close up some imbalance, find demand, and then do a further push to break out of this trend line to the upside. So you want to see something like this basically now, just to update last night's analysis. That's what you want to see. That, and then flip the supply and another push up to the okay. Yeah, so that's my overall analysis on US30. Quickly, what else are you guys trading? What have you been trading?
No, only US30 and NAS.
Okay, so S&P 500 is looking more or less the same as Nasdaq. It's currently trying to break out of the channel that we've been playing in, and you would be looking at a retest on the backside of this trend line. So that was the counter trend, but now turning into the trend. So when I say counter trend, I mean the fact that this was the original trend, which was bearish, and then you had the counter trend, which was this trend here. Okay, so the counter trend then broke, but when it broke, we still held a previous low. Can you see how we failed to take out this low? So this was the minor higher low. Minor higher low. This was the minor higher low again. Okay, so we failed to take out this low. So where are we running to next? We're obviously going for the high. Okay, so when you fail to take out a low, where you running to, guys? Price is going to run towards the high. If you fail to take out a high, price is going to run to take a low. So this is what we looked at, and you want to see price tap into this backside of the counter trend, respect it, come back down for the retest of this, of the backside of the downtrending channel, and then confirm that the trend has changed. Because according to major structure, you would still need to take out that high there. Okay, so once we take out that high, we can confirm that the trend has indeed changed over on our major structure. Right. Any questions, guys?
No.
All good, all clear. Anyone? I can hear some
Yeah, it's all
trades.
good.
I can hear some trades being executed there. Who is that?
No, that's me. I'm closing some cells. The quote on the top. Can you go back to the NAS?
Yeah.
I want to see how you did the daily into the 4 hour, because I drew the trend line and I don't know how yours is meeting up on the 1 hour.
What are you looking at? This one, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the bottom one, you put it from there.
Which one are you looking at? This one. See, when you're
Yeah,
drawing, the trick about trend line, so when you're drawing a trend line, always draw it on your line chart.
oh, not candles, draw it to the line chart.
Draw it on your line chart. You'll get a clearer view of it.
Okay. All right. Okay, now it's aligning. You see where you said that pullback will come on that one on the daily. If we close bullish, we'll get a like it's touching on your trend line.
Yeah.
And mine wasn't.
So
Yeah,
it needs to close. Remember, it has to close above that trend line. But the other confluence that I told you guys was, yes, it must close above the trend line, but if you're looking at your major structure is where? Here. From that high
yeah.
to that low.
So
So we can potentially still see a sell-off later on from either of these levels. So if you are holding buys, those are levels to watch out for. Because it's between the 61 and the 78.6, and we've got strong supply areas in that zone.
yeah, I need to meet you to see how to do this flip thing on the daily.
We'll set up something, don't stress. Anybody else? Any questions?
Yeah, your pullback is 61.20.
Films.
No,
Films,
cool.
you're
I
very
don't
quiet,
know.
Films.
Hi, Shaquille.
Fems is that guy
Good, how are you?
running flipping big money. Is that the guy?
Films, you created a reputation. How are you?
Hi, Shaquille.
How's it, Chica?
All right, man. How are you keeping?
Hi, I'm all right, man. Films, what's happening?
At this 10.6 level, 10 between 10.4 and 10.6, it looks like there's equal lows.
Oh, yeah, 10.6, yeah, correct. Good. That's what I'm saying. There's a good potential for this to tap into one of these supplies and then still come back down. Because if it does do that, remember what I taught you guys about the FIB. If we react off the 61.8 or the 78.6 level, which is these two supply zones up here, then your overall target would be not only these lows down here, but the minus 27 level,
Minus
which is,
27.
yeah, correct. So, which is in line with our weekly trend line down here. You see that?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. And if you switch to the weekly chart, I noticed something on the weekly chart as well.
Yeah.
I noticed around just below those wicks, there's an IFC, a weekly IFC.
Somewhere here.
Yeah, just above. Yeah, just above. Yeah, there.
Oh, yeah. But hasn't that been mitigated yet?
Let's look into it.
It's touched.
Yeah, oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay, but if I were to look at it on the weekly, if you can look at it here, you'll see that even down here, you've got this volume imbalance sitting here. You see that area?
Ah, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's an area that I would mark out and just keep at the back of my head as a potential target area later on, should we react from those above areas.
Above areas. Okay.
All right. Beams, unmute, boss. Hey.
Wait, it's having a problem. Just hang on. We're sorting it out.
No problem. Okay. All right. That's it. Then who is on the score? So yeah. Okay, cool. So I'll send the recording to you guys. But yeah, thanks for joining. And I think every week, let's sit around the same time and do the same thing, or let's cover a topic every week.
Yeah.
What
we
do you
can do
guys
that.
what do you guys think? But
Yeah,
you guys need to
I'm
come.
game.
You guys need to come with your topics. Maybe discuss it in the group in the week, and then we discuss it together. Maybe 1 week the guys want to do fundamentals, the next week the guys want to do FIBs, blah blah blah. But discuss it in the group, and then we'll sit through it. All right, guys. Catch you all next week, and wish you all a profitable week ahead.
Thanks, Shucks.
Cool.
Right.
Bye.
Thanks, Akil. Cheers, guys. Good night.